Hi, my name is Diego Alcalá Laboy. I am a brand new professor here, and I'll be teaching this semester Introduction of Technology to Lawyers, and then next semester I'll be teaching Criminal Law and Evidence. Prior to law school, I had graduated from a business school, and I did a lot of logistics and event management events. I had the pleasure of working with the Salt Lake City Torch Relay, and that was one of the coolest experiences. You get to go to 46 states in 67 days. You were able to see a bunch of people. I was able to meet Larry King and Willie Mays. So it was a really weird experience, really fascinating, and it was just so fast. It was like 600 miles a day that we were driving. So, but at one point I said I could do other things. So I ended up going to law school, believing that I wanted to do corporate law because I had a business background. I thought that would be a good match. Went to Puerto Rico because it's a lot cheaper. And while I was there, I was actually very triggered learning about criminal procedure law and seeing how criminal procedure law works and what things the police can do and cannot do. And I'm not necessarily white, so in Puerto Rico we do have issues regarding race and minorities when it comes to the application of criminal procedure law. So I figured this is something that I was affected by, and I want to learn more. And the more I got into it, the more I shifted positions from wanting to work in corporate and wanting to work as a public defender. Pain, no, actually, it's this understanding as to, I don't like bullies. So I do believe that the system sort of preferences, makes distinctions, and there's the execution of what criminal law happens is that a lot of people who are without the resources to defend themselves need competent, effective, and good representation. And I think that is everyone's role as an attorney to actually be part of that. Not everyone's going to be as gung-ho as others. That's why there's a few of us that are in heart public defenders. The students. For me, I think that, yes, I'll write, but the students and the interaction with the students is what motivates me, again, I don't have to worry about the imbalances of the system. I think that I'm very looking forward to working with students because it is at this stage that we are able to trigger our critical thinking skills. I think that a lot of the students are very interested in the law, and I'm hopeful that with the interactions I can have with the students, I'm able to provide them with some sense of a critical perspective of what's going on so that their analysis are a little bit deeper, not just the normal analysis. I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm just saying that I'm hopeful that there's a new generation of lawyers that expands what we're looking at. So that's really fascinating. Obviously, I think the faculty here is amazing, and I'm extremely grateful with how so many faculty members have reached out, not only to look at my drafts, but also to ask me if I need help with finding a park, or for example, have I tried something on a kayaking trip and stuff like that. So it's a really welcoming community, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity. There are a few things in the theoretical realm of teaching, but there's also another reality. My name is Diego Alcalá Laboy, and I don't look like your typical law professor in many institutions. That in itself is pretty telling. Although many of the people I've represented look exactly like me. I've had the opportunity to be in many courtrooms, and I've been told by the deputy or the sheriff there that only lawyers can actually be in this well area waiting for their cases to be called. So I've had all those experiencing in Virginia, in Puerto Rico, and in other places. There's a practical element here also that comes into play. My experience teaching at Delaware Law School was great. Most of my students were very grateful because I brought in how actually the law operates. And I challenged them through video clips. I challenged them through experiences. That does not mean that the theoretical component is not there. It's just how the application actually plays out. And that's where we need to develop a little bit of those critical thinking skills. And that's where we need to push back as to we have this blanket idea of how the law operates in this sort of higher up theoretical without any practical implication. Ultimately, when I was a public defender or criminal defense attorney, I represented a person, not a number, not a case, a person with a family and a person with experiences and hopefully dreams. And it was my job to have that empathy for the person and maintain that dignity throughout the process. It's hard to do that when you lose yourself in theory and practice. It's important to bring that in. So I'm hopeful that translates. Latino food, but I'm all over the place when it comes to trying new things out. I'm all over the place. I can eat anything. Salsa, 1970s New Yorican Fania records. Anything from that era, I'm in. I like to cook. I'm not saying I'm a good cook, but I enjoy the process of cooking and trying things out. Besides that, I don't have a problem walking in trails and trying to lose myself once in a while and listening to music and doing nothing. I'm very interested now in going to South America. I would love to go to Machu Picchu, but also to many other locations. Especially there's a huge African diaspora that lives in South America. And we don't necessarily recognize that most of the African slaves were brought into either Mexico, Brazil has a huge African population, and other places like the Caribbean and South America. So I'm very interested in hoping to connect there. Not trying. Yeah, so sometimes you just regret not doing it. Should have asked her out. You never know. Well, everyone in my family is sort of in the medical realm, so I think a doctor would have been the logical path. Willie Mays.
Willie Mays.
Yeah, well, he passed away. So I think that was the most important person I've met as to like groundbreaker. I would have loved to have met Roberto Clemente, get what he represented to Latinos in baseball and in Puerto Rico specifically. But yeah, I'll stay with Willie Mays right now.